Could you repeat the first question?
Of course. So, my first question is basically this. The passage talks a lot about how we're created for God's glory and that true obedience is how we glorify Him. So, how would you personally define the difference between just outward obedience, kind of going through the motions, and inward obedience that truly glorifies God? Let me know what you think.
No, we glorify God by living in obedience to the Word of God. That's it. That's how simple it is. Uh, Isaiah chapter 43 verse 7 says that we are created for His glory. Then we glorify we glorify God by obeying His word.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. It's really about that simple core idea. If we're created for God's glory, then genuine obedience is our way of reflecting that. Thanks for sharing that. So let's keep the conversation going. Here's a follow up question. How do you think we can tell in our daily lives if we're truly being inwardly obedient rather than just outwardly? Are there any signs or reflections you look for personally?
Mm, well, well, uh,
Yeah, it's definitely something we all
mm,
have to think about, right? No rush on the answer. I know it's a big question, but it's a fun one to chew on as friends in theological school. How do we check our own hearts and know we're not just going through the motions? Feel free to share any thoughts whenever you're ready.
I mean, uh, it's more on our actions rather than emotion. You know,
Yeah,
if we truly glorify God, then we will manifest His glory through our actions.
absolutely.
Mm.
Totally hear you on that. It's like our actions become that outward evidence of what's really going on inside. And I think that's a great way to put it. If we're truly glorifying God inwardly, it's naturally going to show up in the way we live. Thanks for unpacking that. So let's keep rolling with this conversation. Here's another question for you. Given what we've talked about, how do you think we can help each other in the church community stay focused on that genuine inward obedience rather than slipping into just outward appearances? Let's keep digging into that together.
We focus it too much on like outward appearance. Let's shift our focus more on uh, more on the major topic of this passage.
Absolutely, we can do that. Let's shift our focus right back to the core idea. The big theme here is really about how our lives glorify God through obedience and love. So let's dive deeper into that major theme. Thanks for bringing us back on track.